If you're sensitive, scroll now. Leave this video. If you're not sensitive and you can handle it, let's get into the video. The wife has a legal document, the side piece don't. Big difference. He's just using the side piece, worst situation a woman can put herself in. Let me say this, don't become a side piece. If you know that man is married, leave that man alone. Now let's read what the sovereign woman says. She says legal documents don't mean much if the husband is a cheater. And since we know that most of these men don't have anything to leave to their wives after they die or cheat on them, that's not much of a benefit. The wife and the side chick are competing for a man who's not worth the dirt he stands on. None of them wins, especially not the wife. Oh, let me tell you a story. So my grandmother has a friend who had to marry this man at the age of 17 because she was pregnant and the father's like, listen, you touch it, it's yours. So they had to get married, right? And I'm convinced that her husband hated her. And I know many of you guys are like, how could a husband hate his wife? I'm convinced he hated her, and I'll tell you why. This man always publicly cheated. And it's like, cheating is already bad enough, but it's like, why do you have to embarrass people? Why do you have to cause a scene? The women he would cheat on her with looked nothing like her. These were very light, bright, and fair-skinned women. And it's like, oh, okay. So, you know, there's that colorism complex right there. This man had a mistress for a couple of years. He helped that mistress get a home. Meanwhile, they lost their home in the 90s. The house that they bought when they came to this country, lost it. He stole her susu money. Now she was in trouble with the susu squad. Oh, but it gets worse. So he went back to the old country and he was arrested for trying to solicit this young girl who was under the age of 12, telling her, if you do X, Y, and Z, I'll give you cola and biscuits and I'll give you some food to eat. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. She had to pay $10,000. This was in 2017 to have the government release him so he could come back to America. And the story just keeps getting worse and worse. She tried at one point to leave this man, and her children told her, basically, if you divorce him, we don't want anything to do with you. You're not going to be able to turn to us for help. And she has a daughter, and you would think as a woman, you would be compassionate to your mother's plight. It is usually other women who are forcing you to stay in your troubled marriage. That's a whole nother video for a whole nother day, though. But don't think you're going to turn to women for a shoulder to cry on. They're not going to help you. So this man passed away, and the son didn't talk to her. These children are terrible because it's like they don't really check on their parents like that, especially that they're elderly. It's like you would think they call. So he comes to the house and he's like, oh, where's dad? She's like, oh, I'll go get him for you. So she comes back into the room with urn, and the son is screaming at the top of his lungs. And I don't know why you screaming for. You don't check on your parents for 2 months. They're elderly. So he's upset with her. How dare you cremate him? He should have had this huge funeral, and we should have invited this person, and we could have. With what money? With what money? Did I mention that she had reached out to the children to help with the medical care and they didn't? And they may legitimately not have it. Like, times are hard for everybody, but it's like, if she doesn't have the money for his medical care, what makes you think she has the money for this big, grand funeral? And when it's all said and done, this woman is in debt. This man didn't leave her a life insurance policy because he loved her and he wants her to survive, not a pension plan because he was never able to hold down a job. They lost their house. Meanwhile, the mistress got help with buying her house, and she didn't have any children with him, so she was just able to up and leave that situation. But you know what's the craziest part about it? Is that women will be in this situation being punished, and then will ask other women when they reach a certain age, "Pisa pa maye, kilo maye," which means, why aren't you married? When are you getting married? This is how women like this view the women's hierarchy. I'm convinced that there are some married women who view women like this. See, at the top of the hierarchy are married women, right? Then we have single women. Then we have baby mamas. Then we have side pieces / mistresses. And the reason why I say that is because I have watched these women who are in these positions make like snarky comments about other women who they view and deem beneath them on the hierarchy. And it's like, if you're suffering, why would you want your fellow woman to suffer? I'll never forget in 2010, there's this woman who, you know, they all know. When I say they, I mean my grandmother's friends. And they asked her, you know, how come you never got married? And her response was, because I don't want to suffer. Do you know, after that, I never heard anybody ask this woman why she's not married. This woman, by the way, who's single, who never got married, who never had children, she has her own house in Long Island. She worked as a nurse and she was able to save her money, and she goes on cruises and she lives a really good life. And I'm trying to understand why anybody would sign up for this sort of disrespect, for this sort of pain and suffering. Because if you observe a situation like this, you would think, as people in the younger generation, no, I don't want to be in that situation. That doesn't sound good. Most people want to be married, but a happy, healthy marriage. That's why when I hear people talk about their grandparents' marriages, I'm like, your grandmother suffered. Your grandmother suffered in silence, and she had nowhere to turn and nowhere to go. But they want you to sign up for this. There's a show that I watch where the people are in hell, but they don't know they're in hell. This woman's marriage was a form of psychological torture. You're not going to convince me that she wasn't suffering. She was definitely suffering. 60 years. 60 years you're married to a man. And this bum, he can't even leave you something to survive, like something as a thank you for standing by me for cheating, like something. You get nothing out of it.